everybody. Welcome to Monday Morning Must Knows. My name is Merlin Rothman. Here are several things to pay attention to for the upcoming trading week. Now, last Friday we saw the kickoff to earnings season. Boy, was that exciting. We saw JPMorgan and Citibank and Wells Fargo all come out with great earnings, nice big gains on the day. But overall, the markets look pretty weak on Friday's session going into the close. So let's look at the earnings calendar to kick things off for your Monday Morning Must Knows. I know there is a ton coming out this week, but you look at the number on your screen, you're like, there's barely anything there, Merlin. 269 companies reporting? Oh, there's plenty. We continue the onslaught of financial firms with Charles Schwab reporting earnings on Monday. Tuesday brings you Johnson & Johnson, Bank of America, Lockheed Martin, Goldman Sachs, Interactive Brokers, J.B. Hunt Transportation, and United Airlines. Oh, but the big daddy comes out on Wednesday. The most heavily traded individual security in our markets is... That's right, Tesla reporting earnings on Wednesday. Same thing with Netflix, Procter Gamble, ASML Lithograph, Morgan Stanley, Abbott Labs, and US Bancorp. So a lot of financials rolling out this week as well on the heels of last Friday's announcements. But you think we're done? Oh no, let's talk about the largest semiconductor company in the world, Taiwan Semiconductor. You have Philip Morris, you have Union Pacific, AT&T, Intuitive Surgical, and Freeport-McMoRan. So nice spread there from technologies to tobacco to minerals and AI companies with ISRG. So pretty cool so far. Does Friday get any better? Well, we do have American Express, Schlumberger, and Huntington Bank shares rounding out your earnings calendar. So a lot of really important stuff happening there on the earnings calendar. If you have any of those in your portfolio, be careful because you know there's going to be some volatility there. Now we should focus to the manufacturing numbers. Now in the United States, manufacturing isn't the backbone of our economy anymore like it was back in the 50s and 60s. However, it still is a pretty important component of GDP. And lo and behold, this week we have several pieces of manufacturing data. So let's look at manufacturing in the United States. We kick things off on Monday with the Empire State Manufacturing Index. That's happening at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And if you notice here, we've been down below that zero line for many months. It's oscillated above a couple. The most recent announcement, as you can see on the hard red edge, was positive 1.9. Well, what are the expectations? Looks like we're going back south again. They're expecting a negative 6.4 for our reading for the Empire State Manufacturing Index on Monday, which is not good. That means contraction and pessimism regarding manufacturing going forward. Then on the heels of that, we have the Philly Fed Manufacturing Index, which is going to happen Thursday, also at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And this one's been much more negative over the past few months, and our expectations are it's actually going to get a little bit better. They're expecting that to get cut in half to go right around 6.5% for the Philly Fed Manufacturing Index. So all in all, not a rosy picture on the manufacturing front, but may create some opportunities for you in your portfolio. Now, consumption-wise, we have more economic announcement with regards to retail sales, the spending of our markets. How are people out there spending their money? I love the graphic here, by the way. Thanks to our graphic designers for this one. Just a great picture of retail stores full. I went to the malls recently, and they've been pretty packed. Does that mean the retail sales numbers are going to look rosy? Well, on Tuesday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, we do have an announcement coming out for retail sales, and it looks something like this. You'll see that for the past 5 months, we have been above zero, meaning we have experienced an increase in retail sales. However, right now, the expectations are that we're no longer going to keep that 0.6% increase pace. We're going to drop to 0.3, meaning that people are spending a little bit less. And that's that red horizontal line you see on the right-hand side of your screen. So these announcements, manufacturing and retail sales, certainly could create some waves in the marketplace, so be careful out there. You've got a ton with earnings, manufacturing, and with retail sales, and I'm going to sprinkle one more on here. Last week, there was a lot of good drama out there with the, we'll just say FTX soap opera with Sam Bankman-Fried and Carolyn Ellison and all the testimony. We did see some volatility in the crypto space, but none of that could compare to the potential volatility that we might see in the upcoming trading week. Why is that? Well, it's because Bitcoin itself seems to be on trial. Not just on trial, but we seem to have regulators that are going after it. Gary Gensler of the SEC has made it pretty aggressive push to keep Bitcoin in the shadows and not let a spot Bitcoin ETF come to market. That said, he must come up with a definitive statement on these different ETFs. You notice BlackRock, Bitwise, VanEck, WisdomTree, Invesco, Fidelity, Valkyrie, all of these are petitioning to have a spot Bitcoin ETF. And you'll notice the dates on the right-hand side, all of which starting on October 16th with Bitwise, going all the way through that week to Valkyrie's at the end of the week on the 19th of October. All of them are jockeying for a position and pushing to get regulators to say, listen, we will approve a spot Bitcoin ETF. And the good news is that the SEC has reached out to several of these firms and asked for more information about the custody of that Bitcoin. How are they going to hold the customer funds? How are they going to hold that Bitcoin going forward? Which is a really nice positive move for the advancement of the spot Bitcoin ETF. That said, right now, we don't know if we're going to get approval, but if we do get approval for any one of these, you could see significant moves to the upside in the crypto space. So be ready on those days for maybe some potential volatility. The odds are, though, that the SEC, Gary Gensler, are going to say, we are going to delay all announcements on that one. But just putting it out there because these are slated and they are on the calendar. That, my friends, is your Monday Morning Must Knows. We'll see you next week.